Howdy y'all, welcome back to another edition of the Historic College Football Playoff, this one for the 1981 college football season. Let's just hop into it. We will start things off in the Sugar Bowl. The number 1 Clemson Tigers take on the number 4 Nebraska Cornhuskers. We'll start things in the first as Chuck McSwain will get across the goal line to give the Tigers a 7-0 lead. Roger Craig and the Cornhuskers offense would respond though, as he tie things up with this 6-yard touchdown run. Early in the second, Nebraska would take the lead with this field goal. Eventually though, Clemson would respond with a field goal of their own and knot things up heading in the half. In the third though, Nebraska would once again regain the lead on another Eddie Neal field goal. In the fourth though, the end zone would once again be found, as Clemson's Jeff McCall would get in from 7 yards out untouched to take the Tiger lead. And that would do it. Clemson would win 17-13 to advance to the national championship in the Cotton Bowl. We now head eastward to Miami, Florida and the Orange Bowl, as the number 2 Georgia Bulldogs take on the number 3 Alabama Crimson Tide. And that Crimson Tide would take an early lead as Ken Coley would take this rush in from 4 yards out. They'd then expand that lead to 10 in the closing moments of the first, with this 45-yard Peter Kim field goal. Georgia would finally find the scoreboard in the second, as Herschel would take this in from 4 yards out. In the third, Alabama would make it a 6-point game as Peter Kim would nail another field goal. Georgia would then cut that lead back to 3 though, as they'd kick a field goal of their own. And early in the fourth, they'd find their first lead of the day, as Herschel would take this ball in from 6 yards out. They'd then expand that lead to 7 midway through the fourth with this 42-yard Kevin Butler field goal. And that would do it. The Georgia Bulldogs win 20-13 to advance to the national championship against number 1 Clemson. Now before we head to the national championship, I'd just like to take a moment to thank you for watching this video and to remind you to leave a like if you are enjoying it, and to subscribe to this channel and ring that bell if you have not already. Now on to the national championship. We now find ourselves in Dallas, Texas and the Cotton Bowl, as the number 1 Clemson Tigers are taking on the number 2 Georgia Bulldogs. Georgia would take an early lead as Herschel would get in from 7 yards out midway through the first. Clemson would knot things up not long after though, as Jeff McCall would get a rushing touchdown of his own. Herschel not to be outshone, would then drive in for his second touchdown of the day, though Clemson would respond with a 43-yard field goal. But then in the closing moments of the first half, Georgia quarterback Buck Belue would find Lindsay at the goal line, who'd stretch across for the touchdown. Though Clemson would score on their first drive of the second half, Georgia would begin to run away with it, as they cruised to a 30-17 victory to claim the national championship. Thank you again for watching. Remember to like the video and subscribe to this channel if you have not already, as well as ringing that bell. Once again, I'd like to remind you, if you have a specific season college football playoff you'd like to see, I will happily do it if you just leave it in the comments. Once again, thank you for watching. Bye.